Hi guys, CombinedYoutuber. Welcome to the F1 2013 career mode today. We'll be doing the German Grand Prix race today. We start 5th for the German Grand Prix after a disappointing qualifying where we should have got pole position actually, but we lost time after sliding at the far chicane. Here we go with the full wet race at the Nurburgring with the wet tyres. It's a heavy rain race in the German Grand Prix and hopefully the only heavy rain race, because I'm terrible in the heavy rain. But anyway, we start 5th, Sebastian Vettel's on pole, Lewis Hamilton 2nd, and we load our setup now in the garage. And now our strategy, where we might pit on lap 7, but we'll have to see where we pit. I usually go with the game strategy, but we'll have to see where my tyres end up. And look at that, we are still winning the teammate challenge, but Fernando Alonso is ahead on championship points by 1 point. So it's going to be a close championship. And we're halfway through the season, pretty much. Halfway through the season and we're 1 point advantage. That's just unbelievable. But there you go, there's a 100% chance of rain. So that's likely to say that it will be wet for the whole race, which is very sad. Very unfortunate. So here we go, out of track for the German Grand Prix.
Higher than we expected, so let's try to build on this position throughout the race.
Here we go with the lights on. Here in Germany, 5 lights. And so away we go for the German Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso's had a decent start there compared to Nico Rosberg, who has had a terrible start. But now, here comes Red Bull on the outside there, and we squeezed him onto the grass there. And here we go, coming into turn 1, we've gained about 4 positions there. Lewis Hamilton now takes the lead of the German Grand Prix. Nico Rosberg takes 2nd. It's a Mercedes 1-2 at the moment. Hamilton leads from Rosberg, then to me. But then now, we're going to go on the inside of Nico Rosberg. Now down into turn 3, we get 2nd place from Nico Rosberg. And it's a good start to the race from 5th position. And now, we got Lewis Hamilton, who's taken the lead of this Grand Prix. He was already 1.3 seconds ahead, so Hamilton's on pretty good pace. And then we slid a bit there. We're probably bad in the rain. We're going to probably back off from Hamilton. But here we go. Now, coming around the final corner, starting lap 2 of the German Grand Prix, where Hamilton has a 2-second advantage from me in 2nd. Then Nico Rosberg in 3rd place. Then Vettel under a 2nd behind Rosberg. Now coming into turn 1, just making the corner. But now coming into the final corner on lap 2 of the German Grand Prix. Now coming into the final corner on lap 3. We've got way wide at the final corner. We have lost time to Lewis Hamilton now. Rosberg has got much better traction out of the corner. And now, can Rosberg get us now down towards turn 1? DRS is a save, well, no shit, Sherlock. Now coming into turn 1. Can Rosberg get us? No, not quite. But we've missed the apex way at turn 1. And Rosberg trying to get us around the outside. But Vettel's now looking on the inside of Nico Rosberg. It's going to be interesting. But we've got wide again at turn 3. Wow, Nico Rosberg, we keep on going wide. That's how bad we are in the heavy rain. And now coming into turn 4, we slid again, but again Rosberg surely has to get us now. Into turn 5, which is a 4th gear corner, but not in the rain. Now coming into this hairpin here, where we've gone way wide into the gravel. Can Rosberg get us? We've gone into the gravel. Rosberg, we're now coming to the inside, and Rosberg gets us. Now down. And now Rosberg takes 2nd place now, coming into the hairpin. And now Rosberg's brake checked us there, and Rosberg's half spun there. Rosberg has spun, and that's... Oh no, Rosberg hasn't spun, he's recovered from the crash. But Rosberg brake checked me there, and we ran straight into the back of him. What is he doing? Let's see, yeah, Rosberg did save the car there from spinning. So that's interesting there for Nico Rosberg. But Lewis Hamilton, by the way, has pulled out such a gap. I think he's like 10 seconds ahead already. But here we go. Coming onto the straight now with Nico Rosberg. Half of a second behind him. Now coming down towards the final chicane. Can we make the move on Nico Rosberg? Yes, we can. Looking up against the side, going onto the curb. Rosberg goes onto the curb as well. We're now going to go side by side with Nico Rosberg now. Down into the final corner. Can Rosberg get the position? Can we get the position? No, we've gone way wide. And now Vettel shoots through into third place. But now we've got much retraction. Now we're going to go side by side with Sebastian Vettel now down into third place. And now coming down towards turn 1. Lewis Hamilton set the fastest lap. He's 2 seconds faster than me. But now into turn 1 up the inside of Nico Rosberg. We corner cut it a little bit there. But we get past Nico Rosberg back into second place. And Rosberg's coming to the inside. And Rosberg has gone into the grass there. So that's very interesting there. This has been an eventful first 4 laps of this race. Rosberg just followed my line there to the outside. Oh, and Rosberg's been half spun there and onto the grass. So it's very interesting. Vettel's now side by side with Kimi Räikkönen there. In 4th place, Räikkönen's made a start. Now coming into turn 4. But Vettel's now challenging us. Down towards turn 5. Can Vettel get us? Down into turn 5 now. No, he can't. But can Rosberg come into the hairpin now? No, not Rosberg, sorry, Vettel. But now coming into the lap 4. We got way wide into that corner. Vettel's not going to take us round the outside into this corner, surely. Is he? Yes, he is. Sebastian Vettel goes around the outside. And then we go, we've slid there. And there's Räikkönen smashing into Nico Hülkenberg. Oh my goodness me. What a crash that was. Räikkönen, we lost control there. Onto the curb, and Räikkönen loses control, smashes into Nico Hülkenberg. Wow. That's a spectacular crash. We slid into Räikkönen, who loses control, smashes into Hülkenberg, who somehow survives that crash and stays in 5th place. But Räikkönen is out of contention for the podium now. That's unfortunate for the Finn. But here we go up the inside of Vettel into the chicane. And that's 2nd place once again for us. What eventful first 4 laps of the German Grand Prix. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton way out in front by about 20 seconds. Wow, Hamilton, he's actually out in front by 19-second gap already in 5 laps. Lewis Hamilton is really quick in this race. He's dominated this one. And Hamilton has basically won this already. He's 20 seconds ahead. That's a huge gap. We're now coming into the pits now where our tyres are worn, so that's 1 lap earlier than our scheduled strategy. Now coming into the pits for a new set of wet tyres in the German Grand Prix. This has been an eventful first few laps at the moment. And here we go into the pit lane, changing to a new set of the wet tyres. And now it's a 3.155 second stop. And we rejoin in 15th, 16th, 17th. 17th place, behind Mark Webber in P16 at the moment. And I think it was Mark Webber that got squeezed onto the grass on the first lap, by the way. So, yeah. I saw on a replay of the start, actually, that Webber, I squeezed Webber right onto the grass. He went bouncing across it, which is very interesting. But here we go, looking at the retirements, and Charles Pic is out of the race now. I was checking who was out of the race because there was 21 cars, and Charles Pic, sadly in the Caterham, has his first retirement of this career mode, and that's unfortunate for the French driver. But now here's a battle here with the Williams and Mark Webber there. Here we go. Can we get Mark Webber onto the straight now? Our fellow Australian, of course, in that Red Bull. But now coming onto the straight now. Can we get Mark Webber now? Coming into the final chicane. We can't see a thing at all. But can we get Mark Webber now into the final chicane? And maybe you can get past Maldonado as well. Into the final chicane. Yes, Maldonado actually does turn into our tyre there. But Maldonado gets we get a position to 15th place on Pastor Maldonado and on Mark Webber. And now coming into the final corner. Starting lap 8 of the German Grand Prix. Now starting lap 8 where there's people in the pit lane now, including our teammate who we get out ahead of, and that's 8th place for us in this German Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas there is obviously out of position there, so he's yet to pit. But here we go onto the straight. Can we get Valtteri Bottas? We're under a second behind him. But now can we get Bottas now into the final chicane? What can we do? Diving up the inside of Valtteri Bottas from a long way back, and we get him into 7th place. We get Valtteri Bottas, and now Daniel Ricciardo there ahead of us coming to the pits. Let's see a replay of the move on Valtteri Bottas. up the inside. That was an easy move on the Williams driver, and we get up into 7th place. Daniel Ricciardo there comes into the pits, and there's a Force India, I think, Adrian Sutil, also comes into the pits as well. But now, coming onto the straight now, onto lap 9 of the German Grand Prix, where we're going to go into 2nd place, which is our effective position. But meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton is way out in front still, at least by about 25 seconds now. Hamilton has dominated this race. Wow. Hamilton's absolutely dominated this race. He's led every single lap. Now moving on to lap 10 of the German Grand Prix, where Sebastian Vettel's all over the back of us now, down into turn 5. Can Vettel get us now on the outside? Not quite there. 37 seconds, by the way, is the gap to Lewis Hamilton. Look at that. He's had an absolute domination there. And now coming into the gravel, Vettel has just driven straight into us. Vettel has just driven straight into us and lost his end play. What is Vettel doing here? So we've gone completely wide out of the hairpin, and Vettel's just driven straight into our front right tyre. Look at this. Vettel's just driven straight. He just doesn't even avoid me or anything. He just drives straight into my front right tyre, which is very interesting there. But Sebastian Vettel still in 3rd place. Lewis Hamilton 37 seconds ahead, which is unbelievable. I think Hamilton's already started the freaking next lap. We go into the final chicane now. Still in 2nd place, but we've slid at the chicane there. And now Vettel, we're getting us on the final corner now. Can Vettel, yes, Vettel can get us for 2nd place. And now we've missed the apex a little bit there. And now Fernando Alonso now, we're trying to get us now onto the straight. Lap 11 and 15 here in Germany. Now coming onto the straight, can we get Sebastian Vettel now into turn 1? What can we do to him as we come into turn 1? Yes, we can get Sebastian Vettel up the inside into turn 1. And we get into 2nd place. Sebastian Vettel has been passed again. Fernando Alonso is in 4th place. But now Vettel is now coming back to the inside now, down into turn 3. Can we go round the outside of Sebastian Vettel? Not quite into turn 4 now. Vettel does get the position there. But now can we get Alonso now down into this corner? Maybe not quite. Oh. Now Alonso was looking at us there, but not quite there. But now, can we get Sebastian Vettel now into the next few corners? On lap 11 of this German Grand Prix, we slid a bit there. But now coming into turn 2 or lap 12 of 15 here in Germany. And now Fernando Alonso is behind us, and we're going very slowly in this race. And we're holding Alonso up quite a bit, so I decided to let Alonso through because he's way faster than me, and I was holding him up through those last 2 corners there, so I decided to let him through, and he deserves the podium more than I do anyway, because I was holding him up quite a lot there. So Alonso gets 3rd place. And I'm moving on to lap 13 into turn 4, where Jenson Button has moved up into 5th place, which is really interesting there. It's pretty good. But Jenson Button now coming to the outside of us, down into turn 5. Here we go on lap 13. Now 3 laps to go of the German Grand Prix. P4 out of 21. P4 could be our best possible starting position. If Alonso finishes ahead of us, he'll trim 3 points. He'll add 3 points to his championship advantage. So if we finish 4th, we'll be 4 points ahead. But now Button and Nico Rosberg get us on the inside there. And Button takes 4th place. Rosberg takes 5th. But now coming into the Schumacher races, we're on the slipstream of Nico Rosberg now. Down into turn 11. Now coming on the outside of Nico Rosberg. We go round the outside of Rosberg now into turn 11. We get 5th place. Now coming onto the straight. The long right-hander now. Coming onto the straight with Jenson Button. Now coming into this corner, onto the straight, Jenson Button. Can we get him into the chicane? We're way too far back for sure. Now we're going to go for it here. Jenson Button, we touched Jenson Button a little bit there, but now we lost it. But Jenson Button lost. They're very slow there on this curb, but now Jenson Button. Wow, that was a long way back there. But we touched Jenson Button. He was slowing down the inside of the curb there, and we're side by side with him now down into the final corner. You know, coming around the outside of the final corner, can we get Jenson Button? Not quite. We can't get Jenson Button there. But now Nico Rosberg's looking at the inside of us. Now Romain Grosjean will take 5th place away. 6th place, I should say, away from Nico Rosberg. Now, coming onto the straight, into turn 1. Can we get Jensen Button? Yes, we can. Up the inside a long way back. We get Jensen Button from like 50 meters back. And we take 4th place. If we take 4th place, we'll be 4 points behind Fernando Alonso. So, we'll have to see what happens. We're now coming round the outside into Jensen Button. Here we go. Oh, Button touches us a little bit there. We corner cut a little bit of turn 4 there. But Alonso will take 3rd place because I obviously let him through. But now coming onto the final lap, Lewis Hamilton's already won this Grand Prix by like 35 seconds or something. But now Button and Grosjean are side by side through the Schumacher S's. But Grosjean gets him. Grosjean gets Jensen Button into 5th place. But now coming into this corner and onto the straight now, Romain Grosjean is we cut Romain Grosjean off completely there. And now here comes Jensen Button around the outside on Romain Grosjean, and Button retakes 5th place. But now can Button get us on the inside into the final chicane or on the outside? Here we go, coming round the final chicane. We take, if we can hold it at the final corner now, and we finish in position 4 in the German Grand Prix. Coming around the final corner, we finish in P4 here in the German Grand Prix. Just 1 position behind our teammate Fernando Alonso. Alonso adds 3 points to his championship advantage, and we finish 4th in the German Grand Prix. Not a bad result, considering the race I had. 4th isn't a bad result at all.
Congratulations.
Look at that. Lewis Hamilton has won the German Grand Prix from Sebastian Vettel. Fernando Alonso in 3rd. 42 seconds is the gap. And it's me in 4th. Jensen Button 5th. Sergio Perez 6th. Romain Grosjean 7th. Paul di Resta 8th. That's Force India's first points this season. There's Nico Hülkenberg 9th. Nico Rosberg 10th. Who got spun, of course, and onto the grass. Daniel Ricciardo in 11th. Jean-Eric Vergne in 12th. And then, I believe it's Mark Webber 13th. And then the results got cut off because nice camera. I also did a replay of the start to show what happened, which I obviously mentioned earlier. And it cut off the recording, which is sad. But I think Kimi Raikkonen finished 16th, I think. Now, Fernando Alonso still leads the Constructor Drivers' Championship, and as I expected, 4 points is the gap that Fernando Alonso has over me. And then Lewis Hamilton, who won this race, is now catching up to the 2 of us in 3rd place, 23 points behind us, less than a victory. Sebastian Vettel, Jensen Button, Romain Grosjean, Michael Webber, Nico Rosberg, Sergio Perez, Kimi Raikkonen, Nico Hülkenberg in 11th, and then Esteban Gutierrez. And there's Guido van der Garde, who still has 13th for Caterham, then Pastor Bernardo, Paul di Resta, who is the points finish for Force India, the Valtteri Bottas, Jean-Eric Vergne, Charles Pic, Daniel Ricciardo, Adrian Sutil, Max Chilton, and Jules Bianchi. So the Russia. So Constructors' Championship, Ferrari is still ahead by 103 points from Mercedes in 2nd, the Red Bull 3rd, McLaren in 4th, Lotus 5th, Sauber 6th, Williams 7th, Caterham up in 8th, Force India ahead of Toro Rosso after scoring those 4 points, up in 9th, and Toro Rosso 10th, and then Marussia are in last place with no points, the only team who have no points at the moment. So here we go with the post-race stuff, and we're disappointed with the 4th place for some reason, but Alonso deserved the podium more, to be fairly honest. But there's Alonso. The camera's being pushed away because apparently my driver's disappointed with 4th place, but it was a decent race. Easy to field in the first 4 laps, but hopefully you enjoyed the German Grand Prix. See you guys on my next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and goodbye.